welcome to Faithful Grace Studio. I'm Mindy. I'm the creator here at Faithful Grace. I appreciate you taking the time to hang out with me for a few minutes here today. I'm going to show you, you guys know, most of you know, if you've been here before, you know I'm a huge fan of junk journaling and creating books, book binding, using things we already have, using things that might otherwise end up in the trash or possibly even recycling. Repurposing things, all of that is what I'm about. And I do collect quite a bit of things that appear to be trash. My husband says all the time that I'm a hoarder. I am not a hoarder, but I do collect things that could be used for different purposes. For instance, food boxes. This is a food box journal that I literally put together with just scraps of paper. Some of it is old planner pages. Some of it is, this was an old crochet instruction book that I had, or that somebody gave me, I think. Pieces of paper bag, pieces of notebook paper that part of it had been written on. I tore that part off and put the rest of it in here. There's a piece of a map in here. I mean, it's just junk, but it's been put together, bounded. I bound it in this food box, this cake mix box, and now we have a nice little journal that you can take with you and keep your notes in, write your recipes in, your to-do list, whatever you want to do with it. So that's why I keep things. I'm going to move some of these out of the way. I'm going to show you some of these others. I need a little space. This one was made out of a box, literally a cardboard box. I just covered, there was some writing on the box that I wanted to cover up, so I just collaged some pieces of paper there. I may decorate it a little bit more later on, but this is literally a piece of a box that I just cut the three sides out, left the rest of it. I didn't have to hinge anything. I just left it together as a box and then filled it up with scraps. And just like the other one, this is paper bags and scrap paper and old planner papers. It never fails. I get to the end of the year, it doesn't matter how much I say I'm going to use a paper planner, and I do use a paper planner, don't get me wrong. I just never use it all year the way that I thought I would. I guess I think that I'm going to make those gorgeous planners like everybody else does, where there's every day's got something drawn on it and some pretty, and it just doesn't work out that way for me. I get to the end of the year and I've only used it for the bare minimum to keep track of where I'm supposed to be when, and then I end up with all these blank pages in it. So I always keep those and use them. This was some old papers that I found in some of my mom's stuff. This is actually I don't even know what that is. That's a piece of ledger paper, but all kinds of things that are just non-traditional pages stuffed in here that just make what I think is the yummiest of junk journals. I mean, this is just the true epitome of a junk journal right here. This one, I had one of those old accordion files that was just coming apart at the seams in places, but the other one side of it was in really good shape. So I just held on to it and used it to bind another junk journal that's just got different pieces of paper in it, different scraps of paper. This one's a little more colorful. It doesn't open quite as flat as I would like for it to without you having to work at it, but it's still very useful, and used a piece of a folder anyway, even if it wasn't the whole folder, used a piece of it that would have ended up in the trash, and I feel good about that. And this is just a scrap of fabric that I had in my stash that I tie it shut with. I just glued a piece of paper here. This is not fastened, it's just slid through there, so if somebody wanted to change that for something else, they certainly could do that. But there's another journal. This is one that I made out of, this is the cover of this is an old file folder, and so I just put a button on the front. I tied a piece of elastic, put it through a grommet, hid the knot with a little piece of paper, and then this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 signatures in it, but they're small signatures, or only, you know, a handful of pages in each. But this one is the same. It's got all kinds of different pages in it, scrapbook paper and file folder paper and sheet music and just all kinds of fun stuff. How much fun would it be to decorate this and use it as an art journal or a sketchbook, or, I mean, there's just so many things you could do with it. So there's one. Here's another one made with file folders. This one was a file folder as well. This one is a little thin, but it still has some of the same types of papers in it. This one was a file folder. See, just plain, and plenty of ways that you could decorate it. This is a nice thick chunky one that I really like. This one was made with file folders as well, but just has more signatures in it. And then I use the fabric binding technique that you guys have probably seen, or there's a video I'll link below to it. But this one, the way it's bound, it will lay flat fairly easily, and it's got just some of the most fun pages in it. I mean, you could collage, you could art journal, you could sketch, you could actually journal in it, you could keep track of your to-dos, you could, I mean, there's just all kinds of things. A friend of mine has one of these that I made, and she uses it for notes. She will go, you know, on a trip or whatever, and she'll think of something she needs to do when she gets home. She'll put a note in it. She'll, you know, and she carries it everywhere she goes, and it's about 2/3 of the way full with her notes in it by now, and she's already told me she's going to need another one before the end of the year. So she may end up with this one, who knows, but just paper, all of this paper would have been in the trash or the recycle bin. Here's another one I made out of a file folder. I closed this one a little bit differently. I literally just punched a hole in the front and the back, put a piece of fabric in there, tied a knot in it. I mean, you could take it out if you wanted to. It's not glued in there, but did the same thing on the front, and it just ties on the side. So it stays, it holds it together nicely. And this one has some pretty colors and bright pages in it, as well as some paper bag. I mean, just look how fun, how fun, how fun, how fun. All right, so 2 more I'll show you, and then I'll let you move on with your day. These two, this one is made with a file folder, and I used, instead of putting a closure on it, there's a piece of parchment paper. I used, I had a gift bag that the bottom had busted out, had something had dripped in it, and the bottom was not usable, so I had to cut the bottom off. But there's, I just put that in here, and so this one can be carried around like a little purse. And then this one was made out of a Monopoly box. I just could not bear to throw the Monopoly box away. I loved it too much. I wanted to keep it in some way, shape, or form, but I just didn't need this big, huge game box. It had some wear and tear on it, and I liked that, so I made the cover of this journal with it. Used a Bath and Body Works bag for the handles. And look at all of this place you have in here to sketch and doodle and journal and collage and note take and whatever you want to do. So all of these, and I know I'm going to be overrun with journals if I don't quit. But I can't quit because I enjoy it too much. So I'm just going to keep going, and I'll keep giving these away. But there is a whole stack of journals right there of things that would have ended up in the trash can or the recycle bin had I not kept it and used it for a purpose. And that's kind of what drives me. The process is fun. I have a ton of fun trying to decide, how I'm going to bind it, what colors to use, how I'm going to close it. All of that is a ton of fun. The process is fun. The actual gluing and stitching the signatures and stitching the button, all of that part is fun. It's fun to use these scraps. This is a lace scrap. This is a scrap out of a chintzy rug that I dismantled a while back. Of course, the box, I got another one of these somewhere that's a lemon cake box. The file folder. I mean, just the whole process brings me so much joy. I have so much fun with it. It may not be your thing. That's perfectly okay, but find what is. Find that creative outlet that is your thing, that drives you and excites you, and do it, because that will keep your soul fire burning, and that is huge. Especially the older we get, the more we need that soul fire to push us to stay healthy and stay connected and stay vibrant later in life. And this is one of those things that I do that helps me do that. Hope you've enjoyed watching and hearing about these true junk journals, and I hope you enjoy making your own.